Hello everyone, in this video let us see what is TypeScript. Before we go for TypeScript, let us try to understand why do I need TypeScript. There are a lot of reasons, but I have chosen two basic and important and easy to understand reasons. The first reason is we need strongly typed script. We need strongly typed JavaScript. So I need some scripting language which should be strongly typed. And we have seen in our JavaScript course it was very tough or difficult or confusing to implement object oriented concepts in JavaScript. So I need some scripting language which should help me implementing object oriented programming concepts in easy way. These are the two solid reasons. That's why we need TypeScript. Now let us try to understand the first reason. You can see this is your JavaScript code. If I declare a variable, so I used to use var keyword eid.js employee id JavaScript variable 78. So this is number. I can also assign string to eid.js. So this is not type safe. Employee id is a number, but I'm assigning some string. So we need some strongly typed JavaScript. So that is nothing but your TypeScript. So here we are going to use let. Now what is the difference between var and let? These are similar. We will understand the differences in our coming lectures. So now I'm declaring the variable eid.ts TypeScript variable. I'm using postfix ts, so I can give any variable name. Now I'm defining its type as number, and I'm assigning 56 to eid.ts variable. Now you see that if I try to assign a string, it throws a compile time error. That is, type Manzoor is not assignable to type num. So Manzoor is of type string, which cannot be assigned to the type number. So now my TypeScript is strongly typed. So one solid reason. The next reason is easy oops. Now classes in JavaScript. How do we used to create class in JavaScript? We used to create a function, name the function, pass the parameter. This function name itself acts as a class as well as constructor. Now confusion. Class name is function and which is also acting as a constructor. Okay, I'm a bit confused. I want something similar to our C# classes or Java classes, programming language classes. So we have that in our TypeScript. I can define a class with a keyword class and name of the class as employee, and you have fields or properties, then you have constructor, and you have methods. So this is a bit similar to the class that we define in our C# or server-side programming languages. So these are the two solid reasons. Now what is TypeScript? Let us see definition according to Microsoft. Typed superset of JavaScript which compiles to plain JavaScript. If I write TypeScript and compile it, it is going to generate JavaScript, and that JavaScript file I'm going to use it. Or TypeScript is superset of JavaScript, or you can say JavaScript is subset of TypeScript. Okay, getting confused? No worries. I have simple definition with me. Easy object oriented programming in JavaScript. If you want easy way to implement object oriented programming in JavaScript, then go for TypeScript. Now my TypeScript file will have an extension .ts, like JavaScript file has JS. In the same way TypeScript file will have .ts. So if I have a file TypeScript app.ts, I can compile it so that it can generate a JavaScript file. The important thing that we need to remember here is we add reference of app.js in our HTML file. We write TypeScript. Once I save, it gets compiled, or I can compile it to generate JS file. Now I'll add that JS file reference in my HTML file to use. Anyway, don't worry, we will implement all these things and we will see. Just understand the basic concept. That is, you have TypeScript. Whenever we compile TypeScript file, it will generate JavaScript file. Now let us get started with TypeScript. You need Visual Studio 2017, and you can go to this URL, that is TypeScript language. This is the official website of TypeScript, which is being maintained by Microsoft, and let us go and implement Help Digital World. I'll click on this. If you have Visual Studio 2017 installed, by default you will get TypeScript. If not, you can simply download it from here. You'll get an exe, just execute that, you'll get it. Now you can see that it says TypeScript is a typed superset of JavaScript that compiles to plain JavaScript. Any browser, any host, any OS, open source. So here you have documentation. Some more details you want, you can go through that. Now let us go for its implementation. I think you know very well about Visual Studio 2017. In our last course I have given some introduction. So it is very simple. You can simply go to Visual Studio or Microsoft Portal and you can download Visual Studio Community Edition, which is free. Once you download Community Edition, you can start working on Visual Studio, and installation is very simple. You need to simply say next, 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 and it will get installed. Now let us see a demo of TypeScript. I have Visual Studio installed with me. I'll simply say File, New, Project. I'll go for Web, ASP.NET Web Application, .NET Framework. I'm going to use .NET Framework. I'm not going to use .NET Core. Just we are trying to understand TypeScript. Let us not worry about whether it is a .NET Core platform or .NET Standard platform. Let us not worry about that. So I'm using our old .NET Framework. Now I'll store this project in the source code folder. I'll name it as my first TypeScript example. I'm going to work with empty project. Web forms you can take, or if you do not take anything, there is no issue. I'll say okay. It is an empty project. Now first of all, I'll add a TypeScript file. You can see that it give me a suggestion for TypeScript file directly, or I can say add new item, web. I can look for TypeScript. I have TypeScript file, so I can add in this way, or I can simply go for add TypeScript file. I'll name it as first. So you can see that I get first.ts. So in my TypeScript file, I'm going to define a function test, and in this function I'm going to simply say console.log my first TypeScript app. Save this. As soon as you save it, it gets compiled and it generates an equivalent JavaScript file. Now where does it generate? It generates in the same folder. Just I'll say show all files. Now you see that I get first.js. I'll double click this. Now here I get the same function in JavaScript file, JS file. So whenever I write something and says save, it gets compiled and it generates an equivalent JavaScript code. So I'll hide the files. So I have my TS file. Now I'll add HTML page. I'll say first. Now I'll just drag and drop the TS file in the head to add the reference. You can see that it is adding reference to .js, not to .ts. Now in the body I'm going to write script, so I'll be writing JavaScript. I'm going to call the function test function I'm calling. That's it. Let me execute. Now it should write the console.log text in the browser's log. I'll say F12. If you see in the console, it says my first TypeScript app. I'll clear all. Now you see that it says my first TypeScript app. If you want, you can call that function once again. It writes my first TypeScript app. So that's it. This is so simple. You're going to really enjoy all the features of TypeScript. So this is how you can start working on TypeScript. That's it for this video. Thank you very much.